he wanted to be honored.
You're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network of podcasts.
Supernatural. Welcome,
Brave Star.
Maybe it was a Manglore.
It's Castle Grayskull.
Tune in next week for a much better episode. For now, though, courage.
Hello and welcome to the 50th episode of ToyCast. Joining myself, TFG1Mike, throughout this episode are a ton of Transformers and toy collecting fans in general. Also, General Tekno and I announced the contest winner. The crew from Radio Free Cybertron joins me for a chat, and then Steve Megatron, and finally Pecan Court Michael. Just like to let everybody know, we recorded all these segments at a few different times, so the audio quality on my end, my voice may be a little bit different on each segment. I'm not really sure how to control that. But anyway, I hope you enjoy episode 50. This is ToyCast, episode 50. And I still do not have any idea what title I'm going to come up with for this show, because this show is probably going to outrival our Revenge of the Fallen discussion way back near episode 5 of the podcast, where it was 2 hours and 23... I think it was like 2 hours, 23 minutes, 22 seconds. I think that's what it was in iTunes.
Look at it this way. I doubt it'll have a handle on Radio Free Cybertron's 100th episode. I'm still listening to... Sorry, not Radio Free Cybertron and Moonbase 2's 100th. I'm still listening to that.
Oh.
It's about...
that was 3 hours, and that was their 100th episode. I'm not saying it's going to rival any other podcast. I'm saying as far as our own time limits. Anyway, I am joined with General Tekno. Hello.
Hello there.
Yes, and this is the contest winner announcement segment. Thank you for everybody who entered. The voicemails would have been played. Actually, we'll probably play the voicemails after this segment of the podcast. A lot of great entries. There was one that I'm not going to play because the person completely got the person that hosts the show wrong. There was somebody that called in that said, "Congratulations to Mike the Birdman Dodd on 50 episodes. Now let's see if you bastards can do 90. While I love the Back to the Future reference, don't get me wrong, you completely threw our show under the bus as far as what show and which host it was. So, yeah. Yes, the contest. The last, was it 2-3 weeks?
It was.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks. Tekno had said that he had gotten a spare Recon Ravage, or he had one that somebody didn't want or something, or changed their mind or something. I don't know. It was something. He said, how about we do a giveaway for episode 50? I was like, sure, fine. He said he was going to give away Recon Ravage. So, we did a contest. All you had to do was call in, leave a voicemail. Didn't matter what it was about. If you wanted to send us a voicemail congratulating us on 50 episodes, because frankly, I'm actually surprised that this podcast actually went to 50 episodes so far. We held the contest. Just send in a voicemail or send us an MP3 through the through the mail. Yeah, we don't do snail mail around here. I'd like to thank everyone who entered the contest. We have 6 entries, and I have them all here in my little cup. And no, I don't CUP. So I'm shaking the cup up, as I'm sure you can hear. And I'm going to reach in and pull out a name.
And who is it?
The winner is NightMax. NightMax, you have won a Recon Ravage. Be sure to email me your address, and I will forward that on to Mr. Tekno there. You have won yourself a Recon Ravage. Again, I would like to thank everyone who entered the contest. If we were going on instead of a random draw, but the best voicemail, hands down, Malunas would have won because he did the best voicemail out of everybody.
You're going to have to link me that. Oh, I guess I'll hear that soon enough when I listen to it.
Well, I'll send you the clip afterwards.
I'm not surprised though. Malunas, he's a pretty good guy. I mean, he hooked me up with Ratchet and RC, so yeah.
Yes. So, NightMax, you have won I again will send you an email, and you can send me your address. I will forward that along to Tekno, and he will put Recon Ravage in the mail as soon as possible.
That's right. So congratulations for winning this Ravage.
Yes, I'm sure you will very much enjoy it. Again, NightMax has won the contest. Again, I'd like to thank everyone who entered. We will probably do another contest. I think maybe the next contest we'll do is if we get to 75 episodes. Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, other than that, I guess we're going to move on to the toy discussion, because we are going to have a toy discussion in this segment. And who will you be talking about, sir?
Well, I'm going to be doing something that's somewhat special for episode 50 in terms of it's out of character for me. As I've said in previous episodes, I generally do not go for G1 toys when it comes to collecting. I'm not a fan of them in general, simply because of the whole brickish nature of them, because I'm a huge stickler for posability when it comes to getting stuff.
Well, that, and you didn't grow up in the 80s, so it...
Well, but the thing is I mean, I know I've read a lot of the characters since and such. I mean, like, there's certain characters, like, I mean, Bludgeon, for instance. I found out who characters like Thunderwing and Bludgeon and stuff were before I went online and started getting involved in the fandom and stuff. I found out who they were through, like, the Titan reprints, and I thought Bludgeon was awesome before I went online, so... I mean, yeah, so I have been introduced to certain characters and stuff, but it's been very different than the norm, so, for a lot of fans, because I grew up with Beast Wars.
Right.
And I knew I remember a lot of the old G1 toys, like, I recognized a lot of them. I knew people that had them, so I mean, it wasn't like I was completely isolated from them, but yeah.
All right, so surprise us. Who the hell in G1 are you going to be talking about?
Well, this is commemorating the awesome miniseries by Nick Roche and James Roberts, Last Stand of the Wreckers, which is still on sale. Buy this book and then buy the trade when that comes out, because we want to tell IDW to keep putting out more stuff like this, because what we're essentially getting is ridiculously well-written, high-level... you can't really call it fan fiction simply because it's like a cut above a lot of fan fiction. It's like very well-written, ties into continuity, plus it's official, so... Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's written by people who love the franchise and who know the character and who are enjoying developing the characters. And I picked up on Sunday. I was out at the local toy show and found for really cheap toys of a couple of the wreckers in that comic, Topspin and TwinTwist. I got complete. They're all they're a bit banged up and stuff. The stickers aren't the greatest, but they're complete. And it's Topspin and TwinTwist.
And these are the ones that, if you have them in alt mode these are the pull back and let go ones, correct?
Yes, they are.
And they auto transform.
Yeah, the mechanism doesn't work all that well for me on the ones I have, but I think that's more just a matter of the age of the figures and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I just got Topspin to do that. You just need to pull them back a lot. I'm just trying to see if I can get TwinTwist to do this as well.
I actually had both of these. I think these were one of my first Transformers toys when I was a kid.
Cool.
And I honestly could not stand them even then, just like I can't stand them now.
Yeah, they do work. You need to pull them back quite a bit further than I actually was pulling them. But
right, yeah.
They do work, and yeah, it's kind of a neat feature. I can see how that would be cool. Anyway, they've got standard G1 posability in terms of their arms move, and you can kind of get them to bend forward, except it's spring-loaded because of how they transform. But you can't really get... But basically, their arms move, and that's pretty much the extent of their posability. Yeah. And they've each got chromed weapons, which... I mean, yeah, the weapons are pretty nice. And... I mean, what's pretty cool about them is, I mean, they have pretty much the same transformation, but the way they're designed, there are two separate vehicle modes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the robot modes are very similar. Like, they've got different chests, different heads and stuff, but like, it's clear that these guys are meant to be like twins type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Skids and Mudflap, really. I mean, in terms of where you look at the two and you can tell that the two have enough design similarities that they're twins, sort of thing.
I don't know if I would go that far to compare them, but
Well, I don't know. They've got a lot the same level of similarities as Topspin TwinTwist. I'd say in that they've got the same type of build. They've each got the oversized arm. They've got they've got different. They're both compact cars. In the case of the Human Alliance figures, especially, they both transform almost the same, very similarly. But I mean, like the chests are the same. I mean, like they're similar. Topspin TwinTwist are probably more similar just because of 80s engineering, but I think that you could argue Skids and Mudflap are essentially updates of kind of the whole concept of Autobot twins.
I guess.
But I mean, like the characters, they've always been portrayed as like twins sort of thing, and like in the case of in the Wreckers comic, like it's been established that they've got in that like the whole idea that they can feel each other's pain sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
And that, if something happens to the other, they can,
Yeah.
they'll feel it. Like, there's a bit where, like, TwinTwist is in law, Pain transforms anyway, and Topspin, who's, like, on the other side of who's, like, in a completely different area, completely cut off and everything, like, he feels it and stuff. And then there's, like, some brutal torture going on at the end, which, yeah, it's clear that, they're both feeling it, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, their transformation is alright. Honestly, really, I got them more for the characters than anything. So, I mean, that's an instance of, not buying necessarily for the toy nostalgia, but more because, these characters were awesome, and I quite like them, and it's a pity they're probably going to die in the next issue or two. Because Nick Rush and James Roberts are doing all kinds of awful things to the Wreckers, which even they hate themselves for doing. So, which makes for a great story. I mean, poor Rotor's story. He's probably one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, see, I haven't been paying attention to Transformers comics all that much. It's not that I don't have anything against them. It's just I sink all my money into actual toys.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, if there's a mini to pick up, that's like pure like do you want fanwick? I mean, it's all. Wreckers is essentially take a bunch of obscure European toys, throw them into, put them in the Wreckers, kind of like the old school Wreckers, where they were a bunch of obscure characters who weren't being used in the main comic. Like, take a bunch of obscure characters, throw them on a team, and send them into a impossible mission where a lot of them are going to die.
Yeah.
At this point, I think the only characters who are kind of guaranteed to survive are Springer, Perceptor, and maybe Cup, but even that's not necessarily a certainty. And they're doing even the way it's written, there's no guarantee anybody's going to survive at this point, so.
Yeah.
They've developed a whole ton of obscure characters who've never gotten more than a tech spec very well.
Yeah. We should also mention about TwinTwist is the one that I remember having the most. I'm looking at him on TFU Info, and because unfortunately the wiki does not have an image of his alt mode. He's a driller, but I remember his drill parts when he transforms, they become his knee joints.
Yeah, they do, and the same thing happens with Topspin.
Topspin, yeah.
He's got pieces there that form them. That's actually, quite honestly, that's the thing that kind of surprised me the most when I got these toys. Simply because of the fact that the way they're done in the Wreckers comic, I kind of like some of the design changes they did better, in that they actually have those pieces sticking up over their shoulders.
Right.
Like TwinTwist has the drills over his shoulders, and aesthetically, I think that's a case. These are a case of good use of hiding kibble in the transformation, but there's not very much to hide really because of how they transform.
Yeah, well,
vehicles already.
Well, again, even though they're in the records, they started out as G1 toys. So and looking at Topspin, he's actually now that I look at the both of them, he's really the one that I remember having the most out of the two, because on his alt mode, his shins or his kneecaps, they're just flat silver, they're not drill cones.
Right.
Which, just looking at him now, he's the one that I think I had the most.
Well, Topspin and TwinTwist, to be fair, their records going back to the Marvel UK comics. So. I mean, like, they were wreckers back then.
Right.
And, let's see, it sounds like that, I'm just reading this. Yeah, it sounds like that Topspin died in Target 2006. And I assume that TwinTwist probably died as well because Megatron and Galvatron killed the vast majority of the wreckers.
Yeah. And I mean, again, that's fine if they're from cartoon or not comic continuity. That's more than fine. I don't have an issue with that. It's just for some strange reason I found these when I was a kid. These things, both of them, were everywhere in Toys R Us. In at the time, Child World was a toy store here in the U.S. They were just everywhere, and I thought they were part of the cartoon, and it turns out they're not, which kind of sucks.
Well, that's probably why they were warming shelves for one. And for two, I mean, their fiction never showed up in the U.S. because it was the UK only stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really the UK crowd that really got into these characters, and they're the ones that kept the flag burning with like all the characters and wreckers, like the Predator Jets and Pyro and Iron Fist, and all these other UK characters who first showed up in the UK. I mean, they really have fun. Like in terms of in that book, for instance, Pyro is pretty much like looks a lot like Optimus Prime, and they run with that in making him like an Optimus Prime fanboy almost. So
yeah,
it's pretty clever, really. And yet even still, they still manage to give him they're still managing to give him some character development. I mean, just because they're doing the whole angle of how these characters react when they're thrown into like a real no-win scenario sort of thing as well. And it's interesting just comparing to the first issue.
Yeah.
They're...
See, again, you're coming from the comic point of view now, where I'm coming from the point of view of, I was a kid, and I wanted a G1 Megatron, but they were all sold out, and the only thing left were these jump starter pieces of shit. But, to each their own.
Well, I can see that, I suppose. So I'm actually just looking on the wiki now and just seeing if I can see. Oh, interesting. There's actually our cartoon character sheets for these guys, but they were never actually used.
Yeah, they were never actually used.
And you can actually see his hands on his vehicle mode in the character model. Sloppy.
Yeah.
Sloppy. But they're neat figures. They're, as far as Transformers go, they're like ridiculously basic. In terms, you just activate the gimmick and boom, they're done. But overall, if you're getting stuff for the characters, it's Topspin TwinTwist, and I paid $10 for both of them combined. So, I wasn't gonna pass. I was rated. I thought it was gonna be $10 each, and I was rated for that. And I was like, I'll give you both of them for $10. So, yeah, great bonus. They're not in the greatest shape, but heck, now I own Topspin and TwinTwist, so I own some wreckers. And now I just need to get Iron. Now I just need to cross my fingers that we get Iron Fist in the Botcon box set.
I hate to tell you, dude, but you got robbed on that.
What, Topspin TwinTwist?
Yep. Because I remember back in the 80s, they were the lowest of the low priced. I think my mom found them at retail for $4 each.
So that's. Yeah, and I paid like $5 each for used figures. So
yeah. And
considering the fact that they're toys from the 80s, so there's the appreciation/depreciation value. Really, I think. All things considered, I think I probably still paid an alright price. So it's all in whether or not you're willing to accept what you paid. In the end, I look at it as $10 for 2 G1 figures.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's not easy to do. And they're characters that I was like, oh, cool. Because you go to those shows expecting to spend money, and then you find deals like, holy crap, it's these two guys for $10. Whereas you've got cassettes that'll go for twice that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And see, it's funny on the cassettes because I don't know. It just depends on which cassette you're looking. For.
I think in general the cassettes go for a lot simply because they're very popular. The Encore sets, I need to try and track down the first one still because I didn't buy it in time, and because I wasn't interested when it was still available, and then I found out Device Label Blaster can hold tapes, and that changed my mind pretty darn quick. Because I want Rewind and Eject and a buzzsaw, just to round out my Soundwave's minions.
Do you have anything else to say about him?
About these guys, I can't think of anything. Again, I've done this umpteen times in this episode, but go by Last Stand of the Wreckers. Because it is an awesome book, and it needs to get plugged more and more and more just to show that, it's actually that it's something that us fans will buy if IDW makes more like this.
Yeah.
We need to get more stories written and drawn by Nick Rush, and with James Roberts doing stuff as well. And I guess the last thing I'll say is just with James Roberts, if you haven't heard his name, which is possible, look up the fan novel Eugenesis. The dude wrote a novel-length story that's I think you can get the PDF on TF Archive. That's set in the Marvel UK future continuity, and that you don't really need to know any background going in because they put a timeline in there that gives you like all the background information you're going to need, and you can pick up all the relevant stuff during the story.
Right.
But that stuff is like that's one of the darkest Transformers stories that I've ever read. And just they're dealing with stuff that's like that's World War II level concentration camp type stuff in there. It's very well written, and it involves time travel and makes use of it well, and even brings up stuff like the fact that the Optimus Prime from that Power Master Prime onwards technically was a cheap reproduction of Optimus Prime, and not the original.
Cool. Alright, well, I am going to be talking about Mighty Mugs, as usual. Actually, since we've been doing ToyCast, I've kind of held off from the Mighty Mugs. Recently, well, about 2 or 3 months ago when it was my birthday, I got a crap ton of Mighty Mugs. And I've kind of been holding off on them to kind of save them for future episodes of this show, just, kind of biding my time on them. The one I'm going to be talking about in this segment is Marvel Mighty Mugs The Punisher. Very, very cool. I don't really understand why they have to put the paint lines on his face where he looks like he has war paint on him. Like, part of his face is like actual Caucasian color, and then like above his forehead, like on his forehead and on his cheeks, he's kind of like tannish, almost milk chocolate brown color. I don't really get that. He is gray and white. He has a giant skull on his front. He does come with a AK-47 rifle or something that's meant to look like an AK. Very, very cool. As always, the Mighty Mugs have articulation at the head and the arms. Very, very cool. One of the reasons why I've said this before. One of the reasons why I get so into these toys is because of the show Superhero Mugs by Jason Henry on YouTube. It's just search Redhead Henry and you'll find his channel. Very, very awesome. He just started Saga 5. Punisher is a very, very sweet toy. What? What are you trying to say?
Sorry, just a sec.
Okay. Anyway, Punisher is very, very sweet. I normally have him posed next to Human Torch because in the Superhero Mugs YouTube show, Human Torch calls him Pun Pun, which I thought was really, really funny. And it's one of the few Marvel mugs that actually comes with an accessory. A lot of the Marvel mugs don't come with accessories, or they don't come with a lot of like unique design elements, kind of like the SDCC 2009 exclusive of Wolverine, where he has the retractable claws. I think that is the most they've ever really done on a Marvel Mighty Mug. and I talked about him previously in a ToyCast episode. But overall, Punisher is very, very cool. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah, it's a neat figure, I suppose. So.
Yeah, he actually kind of goes in line with. I didn't really mean to do this for comparison, but no, that's more like Snake Eyes. Never mind. I was going to say I've got Duke here as well, and yeah, I guess you could compare Punisher and Duke from the G.I. Joe line because they have kind of the same. He has that same different color to his neck, where the main part of the face on the head is like Caucasian white, whereas the other one is a darker tannish shade. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this segment. We're not really bringing up any news in the in ToyCast 50 segments yet. I'm not sure when we're going to do that. We'll probably have a separate news segment, only because as we're recording this, I'm about to record an ATTF a little bit later. Yes. So again, thank you to everybody who entered. Sorry you didn't win. We will have more contests in the future. Again, congratulations to NightMax. You have won yourself a Recon Ravage coming from the other Mexican border, the northern Mexican border. No. So, yeah, I don't think Tekno was very appreciative of that joke there.
Well, look at it this way. We've got, at least our currency isn't in question as to its value.
Yes, pesos. All right,
hey, look at the exchange rate. It's pretty close to parity. It's been close to parity for like the last year.
Alright, so this is ToyCast episode 50. The next thing you all are going to hear is the voicemails that people sent in, and then after that we will probably cut to the RFC portion of Radio Free Cybertron portion that we recorded. So we will be right back after these messages.
Hi there, this is a message for the ToyCast, and I just want to say happy 50th show. Really enjoy the program. It's wonderful to listen, and just wish I had all the toys that you guys talk about, even the ones that are terrible, because the ones I do have, when you're talking about them, I get to look at it, kind of appreciate it, okay? Especially when Proto Man is on, the goddamn Proto Man. Anyway, congratulations. I really enjoy the mix of people from all kinds of other podcasts like Radio Free Cybertron and so on and so forth that you get. Congratulations, and thanks a lot. And this is Godspeed from the TFW forums. Hey there, this is Godspeed again. Called in before just to blow a little smoke. This time I wanted to call and say that my favorite toy, I'm an 80s kid. I was born in the 70s, so I had, the G1 Transformers. I had all kinds of great stuff. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they first came out. I'd have to say probably my favorite toy, though, as a kid was my little Star Wars Luke Skywalker, which I took everywhere. The swimming pool, the beach, didn't matter where it was, I had that little Luke Skywalker with me. Till the paint was falling off. I mean, that thing was in sad shape, but, I loved it. I loved it like no other toy before or since. And, in terms of Transformers, probably, I never owned it, but the G1 Shockwave, my buddy had it, and I'll tell you what, back in the day, running around that thing was amazing. The sounds, the lights. I mean, it was a gun that turned into a sweet robot. So I know it's hard to imagine these days, but that thing was amazing. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Keep up the great work. G1Mike, I got to say, I stumbled across your G1 podcast, and I got to admit, man, I thought it sucked. I thought it was just horrible. And, to listen to your podcast now, it's amazing how far you've come. So great job, man. You keep up the good work, and, thanks for the new mic, because now you sound much better. All right. Anyway, take care. Thanks for all your hard work. Bye-bye.
Hello, this is Bill McElfresh. Twitter at BillyBoy813, YouTube The Fallen Revenge 1. I just wanted to congratulate you guys on 50 episodes, and hope to be entered into a contest. Thanks, bye.
Hello, TF ToyCast. This is a load of hoopla on Twitter, wishing you a great congratulations on your 50th episode, and hoping I win that Recon Ravage once again. Congrats on the 50th episode, that you're halfway to 100, and I hope you make it there. Have a great day.
Hey everyone, this is Malunas, and I am here with a review for ToyCast. Congrats on your 50th episode, guys. It just feels like yesterday I was waiting to hear episode 5, and, now we're up to 50. Holy crap. Anyway... The thing that I'm going to be reviewing for this is sort of out of the norm of what you usually hear on ToyCast, because, they are Transformer-centric, or at least they were, and so the thing that I'm reviewing is from Kamen Rider Deno. It is the SH Figuarts version of Urataros, the Imagine from the show. And he's a pretty awesome figure. He stands at about, let's say, about 5.5 inches tall. And let me tell you, SH Figuarts is an amazing company. Let's see, it's basically what you expect from a Japanese figure. If you're familiar with Revoltech or even Figma, that's basically what SH Figuarts is about, except they are mostly Kamen Rider with occasional things like Goku from Dragon Ball Z or Domon Kashu from G Gundam. To give an example of the articulation, you got double-jointed elbows, double-jointed knees. You've got 2 joints in the torso. You got 2 joints in the neck on the bottom and the top. You got hip joints that actually, on some figures, are either ball-jointed or they are just this type of hip ball joint that can actually move downward in order to make them do a kick, and that's pretty cool. The shoulder joints, pretty basic ball joint, and then the really insane stuff is like the ankles. You got a toe joint, which is kind of rare, I think. The joints, like the ankle joint itself is like plugged into the leg with the ball joint, but doesn't really move that much. So it's got 2 swivel joints on the side and the front. So it's got pretty much any type of foot pose you might want to do. The hands, they have this sort of swivel and ball joint, and they're also interchangeable hands. So basically, you got realistic hand poses, and the default SH Figuarts thing is to have fists and splayed open hands for like battle. And in the case of Urataros, he comes with fists, item holding hands, and similar to splayed open hands, which is like a splayed open hand, but with the fingers curled and the index finger pointing outward. So it's kind of like a pointing gesture, and it's sort of a signature style for Urataros. And accessories. He comes with some pretty cool accessories. All figure arts usually come with accessories, and sometimes they add in some crazy things. In the case of Urataros, he comes with the staff, which is kind of long and skinny, and it has these weird diamond-shaped things on both ends of it. And the best accessory he has is a coffee cup with its own little plate, and that's pretty cool. And he also comes with this little piece of paper, which has a cutout paper hat and a sign that goes around his neck that says "No flirting," because he's a Casanova and he got in trouble for doing that. To give a quick overview of the sculpt, because I'm running out of time, he is basically just like he looks in the show. No sculpted detail is missed. He's even got these little creases in the quote-unquote clothing on his design. And the paint apps they're simple, but they pretty much do everything that they need to do, and almost no detail is left unpainted. Basically, I'm saying it looks pretty fabulous. And, if you like the design, then I say pick them up. Anyway, I hope you enjoy listening to ToyCast because it is a pretty awesome show. By the way, Mike, I was at Big Lots recently and I saw the Robot Heroes RC and Rumble. Yep, it said Rumble. Sorry. Anyway, this is Malunas signing out. Thanks for listening.
This message is a message for ToyCast. My name is Mask. My favorite Transformer toy is Transformers, Jazz, and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Sideswipe, Universe Classics 2, Sideswipe, Transformers movie RC. Congratulations on 50 episodes.
Hey guys, this is Rachel. Just calling to congratulate you on your 50th episode. Many happy episodes to come.
This is the radio-free Cybertron segment of ToyCast, episode 50. I am your host, TFG1Mike. Joining me is Brian Kilby, XV, Ender, John DeLuna, and Rob Springer. Hello, guys.
Well, we can tell who he likes best.
Shut up, it was alphabetical.
I hate guest chats.
A likely story.
Congratulations on the 50th episode, by the way. That's awesome.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much.
Talk to us again when you get to 10 years.
Actually, XV, you can talk to us when we get to 10 continuous years.
I just got here. I don't even know these guys.
Ender, I have to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Did you plan out your Matty Scalper rant, or did that just come off the top of your head?
Could you not tell that he read it?
Yeah, I read that.
Really?
I planned it very quickly, like 5 minutes beforehand, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I hit the key points I wanted to.
Wow.
Mike?
I wish I had a little time to flesh it over a little bit, actually.
Mike, I realize you probably don't listen to Superhero Time regularly, but did you happen to listen to the episode where I did my Bandai rant?
It was hilarious.
No, I did not.
It was admittedly hilarious.
Yeah,
it's funny you guys mentioned Superhero Time because on my ToonCast research, I'm crossing our shows here, but I've noticed a lot of Saban and Levy doing music for other cartoons like in the 70s and 80s before they even started Power Rangers.
Yeah. They were musicians.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think they were like
awesome.
third-rate musicians.
Man, you should have a show.
But yeah, if you want to go back and listen to my Bandai rant, I believe that's in the March 12th episode.
It's worth listening to. It's brief.
Cool.
Yeah, it's less than 2 minutes. Just like me.
Alright, so we are going to be going in alphabetical order again. Brian, what toy are you going to be talking about?
I have, it seems to be an unmarked. I have no idea. Well, actually, no, it's made by... Warning, this product is intended to be used as a toy and not as a personal flotation device. No, it's made by a company called Imperial Toy LLC from North Hills, California. It's a large inflatable novelty Marvel Universe mallet. It's pretty cool. It has on it, it says Marvel Heroes. It has like the little Marvel Heroes logo. It's made out of vinyl, so it's squishy. When you squeeze it, it does that. It has Silver Surfer, Captain America, which is a Joe Jusko painting, maybe. Actually, I think they all are. Thor, Spider-Man, Iron Man, The Thing, The Incredible Hulk, and on the side it has Daredevil and Doctor Doom and Venom and some crappy X characters. So it's pretty great. I like it a lot. You can hit things with it. And
you make your dog fetch it? Because it sounds like a dog.
One of his prisoners.
See? And it doesn't break a thing. It's awesome.
Stop abusing the cat.
Yeah.
So.
Which, yes, that is a euphemism.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I like it.
Well, I'm creeped out. That's good.
I know. He just killed like a sister wife. Wow. What's he gonna do here?
That's a plushy version of the Three Stooges mallet.
I don't think we need a euphemism for that one.
Well, it's a good thing ToyCast is explicit, so you guys can curse all you want. I don't care. All of our shows are explicit.
Ender.
More like you end up. Oh.
Well, no. See, Mike,
now.
Mike, you still have to bleep over Ender because it's funny that way.
Yeah, I don't
You know what? Everything
bleeps.
else curse and censor Ender.
You just censor
Because my swears are worse than everyone else's.
But yeah, it's a mallet. It's switchy.
It's for hitting.
Yeah,
Like when I say mallet, it's a swear.
With it.
Hey, boy, we'll hit you with this here Spider-Man hammer. Oh, still. Beep. Got you. Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to add to that.
And my fists are not the hammer.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
it's hammer time. Beep. Hammer.
Damn.
Cracking yourself up.
Okay, do you have anything else that you would like to say about that toy, Brian?
I got it. I got it as part of a Easter basket from last year with a Bumblebee Transformers animated basket. It's like a plush basket. So
Is it the hollowed out
What
Bumblebee
an action-packed life you lead.
yeah,
Best Easter ever.
yeah, it was. No, XV. What was the question?
Was it one of those like hollowed out head plush
Yeah.
Easter basket things?
Yes, sir.
Those things are so creepy.
I love that.
However, I do appreciate that you get a Stormtrooper helmet version of one of those, because that seems appropriate somehow.
See, the helmet
Jack-o'-lantern.
and like the Prime head, even at least Prime's a robot. When they have those things, it's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to eat candy out of Batman's decapitated head.
The top of Batman's decapitated.
Somebody does.
Black Lantern style, baby.
Yeah, his brains get scooped out so you can eat jujubes or whatever. Or dots.
They need to put that in. They need to put that in an actual comic. They need the Joker sitting there on Halloween eating candy out of a plush Batman head.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not the food bucket you want. I'm the food bucket you need. I'm the goddamn candy pail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who wants the goddamn Tootsie Roll?
Alright, XP, what toy are you going to be talking about?
I've got Iron Man Mark V from the 3 3/4 inch Iron Man 2 movie line.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing that motivated me to get this was the second Iron Man movie trailer that came out, which finally did show off the suitcase transforming into a version of Iron Man armor, which I think everybody thought was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
What? Enter?
Hello? I lost everybody from right there.
Off in space.
Sorry, I was playing my PS3.
God. Pull yourself away, man.
So that's what you call it, Enter.
PS3 is terrible. It's terrible, and they own Nintendo apologies. Sorry.
I said the PS2 was terrible. I didn't have a PS3 till today.
So hey, Iron Man Mark V.
Yeah, I think we kind of stomped on XV's mojo here.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. I started it.
Mojo?
XV lost his mojo a couple years ago.
Dr. Evil stole it.
Oh.
Overall, I think Iron Man Mark V is pretty good. It gets the slim design of the armor pretty well. And there's a lot of surface detailing on it with all these little sliding panels that you can see unfolding in the movie trailer. The one thing that really bugs me about this figure, while it mostly has really good articulation because it's so slimmed down, there's little tiny bits of shoulder plating molded onto the upper arms, and that limits the outward range of the shoulder joints to less than 45 degrees. Which just, I mean, that almost kills it for me right there. Well, that and the oddly inverted style of universal hip joints where you have to rotate the hip around before you can move the leg forward. I don't really understand why they designed that way either. On the other hand, this thing has a really great mid-torso joint. But I had to go through like 3 or 4 of these before I found one that was an acceptable paint quality, which seems to be kind of endemic to the movie.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. There's a lot of problem with the paint quality.
And even so, the one I got is missing the overcoat on the right upper arm. So it's just the light red base color. It also seems to have 2 left feet.
Ooh.
So, crap.
Quality control in this line seems to be pretty down. I wanted to get a couple of these today, and I dug through a pile looking for ones of acceptable quality that weren't like in a ballerina pose in the box.
The weird thing, though, is that the comic series figures do not seem to have these problems. Just from what I've seen, I've got a comic War Machine that I really like. But, I mean, looking at the other ones in the package, I do not see any of these obvious, like, paint errors and, of course, no assembly errors either. So I'm not sure what the deal is between the 2 lines. The end.
Yeah, I don't have anything against the Iron Man line at all. It's just not something I would be interested in. They look really cool. And another note, my shelf has no room for them. It's all filled with giant robots.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that, too. I've only gotten a few figures so far, just the Mark V and 2 different kinds of War Machine. And the only reason I got the Mark V, like I said, is because of the movie trailer. Because that looks pretty awesome, that one.
Yeah.
There is another thing that rubs me kind of the wrong way on this figure, too, which is that since, of course, it would be impossible at this scale to replicate exactly the suitcase transforming into armor, the figure comes with a suitcase that is just a missile launcher.
Would have been better just as a suitcase.
True.
Well, the idea I had with this is that they could have made a suitcase that... Ender, you're kind of echoing back at me again. No, have a suitcase accessory that you can take apart and make into snap-on extra armor pieces for the figure. You know, that is what I would have liked to seen with this. Because it would have been similar to how the movies would portray it.
I'm not sure how that would work at that scale.
No, I understand.
Oversized suitcase, maybe, but it would still just be a suitcase full of snap-on parts.
Well, no, the suitcase itself would be a bunch of parts put together that you take apart and clip on the figure. The suitcase wouldn't be carrying the pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if they're paying the designers enough for that.
Maybe
Probably not.
That's a cool idea. I'm thinking of the execution of it. Like that would be some pretty heavy duty design to get those parts to turn into a suitcase that looked anything like a suitcase.
Well, that would be the trick. But still, I mean, I would like something just besides a giant missile launcher that happens to be a suitcase.
Oh, face it. You want a suitcase that turns into life-size armor.
You know, the figure comes with an extra hand to carry the suitcase with, but for one thing, the suitcase does not fit very well into that special hand. There is no other like it. And it's just very awkward looking to have the figure hold it and try to use it as a missile launcher.
Well, plus, if he's already wearing the suitcase armor, how could he be holding the suitcase?
Right, why would he have an extra suitcase around just to shoot missiles out of?
It's like, I know I've just changed into this awesome portable armor with missile launchers and repulsors, but I'm going to shoot at you with my suitcase.
I'm sure they're trying
to be like Thomas Crown Iron Man.
Yeah,
Iron Man has papers also,
that shoots missiles, but not when you're already wearing a suitcase as armor.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have 2 suitcases, Mr. Stark? Shut up.
I'm rich. Shut the hell up.
Why are you leaning like that?
All right. You have anything else to say about that, XV?
No, I think I'm done now. Thank you.
Okay. Ender, what will you be talking about, sir?
Well, I thought I'd bring up an old favorite of mine, and I actually mentioned it on the RFC podcast earlier. Night Slash Cheetor, which is a mold I've always been kind of enamored with. For one thing, while not perfectly, it was much more accurate to the show than either of its atrocious predecessors. Though sadly, due to coming third, it had a strange repainty paint job when it came out, which was later corrected. They did a universe version that looked much more, not perfectly again, but looked much more like a regular Cheetor figure, and was also used for CAT scan at BotCon. But the nice thing about this figure is, like so many cat toys, it does do the standard thing where, like, the forearms are, lo and behold, the forearms of the robot. And, the legs are the legs. But it maintains the sort of, rear, the sort of backward knee thing that he had in the show. But it had some really great sort of accessory things in the top half and in the torso. For one thing, I really enjoyed the swords, which were kind of a big part of his characters in the show. They sort of spring-loaded back into the arms, so they didn't look like much when they were sitting there. But when you pushed the button, they flipped forward out, and they went out along a little sort of holder arm, so they swung down and into the figure's hands, which was really cool. I thought that was a really great play feature. Beyond that, there was another thing, so many of these toys, they had this sort of like this weird, like you'd open up the chest and fold in the head and fold out another head. And it was just something you saw a lot in Beast Wars, I felt like. And they did something really innovative with this one, which I had never seen before or since, which is that the 2 different heads were on like a barrel in the center of the chest. There's like, it just, went across. Mm-hmm. And there were rails around the barrel that the 2, upper shoulders and head went around on pegs. So you'd sort of like roll the one up and roll the other under. And I just thought that was a really innovative thing. I thought somebody was really thinking about this toy and trying to make this something that really worked with the line. And I thought that whole line showed a lot of forethought, that especially the one before did not, but it's uncommon in Transformers in general, just that level of innovation. And I thought it was just a great figure all around, and especially the second version that's more show accurate in its paint job. This is a really enjoyable toy in this line that has its problems. And it was well articulated. I think it was a lot of fun to play with, the little swords coming down. Even after they came down, because they were on that arm, once they came down, the arm could still move fairly independently. It wasn't like the mechanism encumbered the movement. And the face was a good mold. The whole thing was just a really excellent toy, I thought.
Yeah, I always really liked Night Slash Cheetor.
I've been wanting to get back into the Beast Wars toys now that I'm obviously doing the Beast Unleashed podcast. My favorite Cheetor is Transmetal 1.
That's an amazing toy, too. That's a really good one. I'd say if you're going to get one of these, get the Universe one they did. So many of those Universe toys were painted awful, but I feel like they kind of were very deliberately trying to correct for the fact that this toy mold didn't get a show-accurate paint job. So he's yellow, he's got some weird little battle-damaging things, but he looks, I think he's definitely the best Beast Machine Cheetor you can get, is that Universe one.
You mean Universe 2.0 Cheetor?
The Universe...
No, original Universe, Mike.
Yeah, I'm talking about, before 2.0. I'm talking... they had some really awful repaints in that line, but this was one that actually was a correction. So if you get the Universe Night Slash Cheetor mold, that's the best Beast Machines Cheetor you can get.
Cool. Alright, is that it, Ender?
That's it. I like that one. That's an old favorite.
Cool. And John, who are you going to be talking about tonight, sir?
I am going to be talking about Transformers Animated Ratchet. The first Ratchet.
Earth mode.
Yes, the old crotchety Ratchet. And you know what? I love animated for lots of things, but mostly for kind of doing things in an unusual way. And I think Animated Ratchet, this one, Earth Mode Ratchet, is so great because he has something that I feel toys in general and certainly Transformers for the most part don't have, and that's a whole lot of characterization, a whole lot of backstory built into his design. He is not the prototypical, stereotypical Western hero. He's old. He's fat. His face is gravelly. He's frowning. There are things literally broken on him. There's a whole lot of history to the character, and even though the cartoon addressed it in their own way, I can imagine lots of kids made up stories in their head, when they're playing with Ratchet about how he got to be, how he is. And I love that he's not just what you would expect from a superhero robot, so to speak. Transformers, certainly as we've gotten, more and more different types of Transformers like Minicons and big and small and things like that, the shapes and the silhouettes of the toys have changed. But they've never taken it in this direction. They've never taken it to some character that's not imposing in any way, that, his allure is his history, the things that have already happened to him. And so, to have a toy that literally has a pot belly, I think is amazing. And, not to mention the toy itself, just on a fundamental level, is great. He has great articulation. He has great design. He matches the cartoon perfectly. There's so many things going for Ratchet that you just don't find every day in a toy. And I think he's really awesome. I think he's really exceptional, for all the things that I've outlined, because he represents things that who knows when you'll see a Transformer like this again or another toy like this.
Yeah. I thought it was a complete when I first watched Animated, I thought it was a complete design flaw when I first saw the cartoon about his right horn headpiece, whatever it was, that was cut off. Mm-hmm. It's like, where the hell did the rest of his thing go? But of course,
right. And that's cool. Once you learn a little bit about the character, even if you don't watch the show and just kind of read his bio, you get it. You kind of get what they're trying to do, especially considering that the character itself, Ratchet, if you're a Transformers fan, has history. He has there's certain things about that character that kind of transcend. And he does it in like this kind of cartoonish and exaggerated way. He's not just old, he's super old, and he's not just crotchety, he's super crotchety. It's great. It's just great to see a toy and a character treated this way.
It's funny because Animated Ratchet being portrayed as being so old, I'd never thought of the original G1 Ratchet being that in the old show, because, they all kind of looked the same. He was the same mold as Ironhide. He had that voice, but it never occurred to me to think of him as old. Mm-hmm. But after seeing Animated, I could totally see how you could go back and watch G1 and feel like Ratchet was that same character, that same old crotchety character. He has a voice that lends to it. He does complain about things in that kind of way. And, when you make Ratchet look old as a robot, it really plays into that. But it didn't even necessarily have to be that way. It was just kind of a wild thing. I think they took that in a really interesting direction that really worked. And it wasn't obvious.
Oh, it's funny you bring that up, Ender, because I was recently watching, for audio purposes, I was watching, it's one of David Wise's best written episodes, War Dawn. At the end of the War Dawn, at the end of War Dawn, when the aerial bots,
oh, you're right.
Say wait. At the end, when the aerial bots say, "I don't know, ask Optimus Prime," and then Optimus is like, "It happened about 9 million years ago." Ratchet's like, "Oh, it's going to be one of those long stories."
It's Ratchet who's asking to be told what's going on. It's Ratchet asking for Prime's old war story.
Yep.
That's kind of, I hadn't thought of that. Oh yeah, no, it was just it though. I really when they kind of came out and showed us that version of Ratchet, I was like, oh wow, they made Ratchet old, which didn't necessarily bother me, but it wasn't how I thought of him. But going back and watching an old show, it's like, oh well, he could be old.
Yeah, you can kind of see where they got it from.
Yeah, you know.
Ratchet always cooks hot dogs with laser scalpels in my mind, so seeing him doing something else is kind of weird.
Well, yeah, I haven't thought of that in a while. I remember that was such a strange image in that comic. It took me like years to figure out what the hell that was.
Electromagnetic hot dog generator.
Yeah, he's like, wonderful pathetic, and he's going to make a badass pack of ballparks.
You know, the thing was, I think the thing was about that image, the reason I didn't get it was not because it didn't make any sense in terms of like what they would be, that those were hot dogs visually. It was that, where the hell did they get hot dogs?
Just
like, you know, there's what's his name? Buster, like, oh wait, it's okay. I got a thing of Frank's in my back pocket.
Well, they're camping.
You have Frank Welker in your back pocket? That's going to be uncomfortable.
And Frank Welker pays in pounds. So.
All right, that was just random.
Yeah, sorry.
We're on shuffle.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on listening to ToyCast 50 will actually get that because they'll have to listen to, what was it, the March 24th episode of RFC?
It's all right. The joke they imagine it to be will probably be better than the actual joke.
Or 10 times worse.
I didn't even get the first joke the first time somebody told that joke, so, you know, hey.
Yeah, and you were there.
I said it.
John, do you have anything else you want to say about
Ratchet? I was just referring to a strange British currency.
No, I think that's it.
Ender and John, which mode do you guys prefer on each of your selections? Ender, which mode do you prefer to display your Night/GCRN?
I keep pretty much everything in robot mode. It's pretty rare that I keep anything in its alternate mode.
Yeah, same here. Especially because, you know, like I said, there's so much going on with Ratchet's robot mode. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Animated clearly values, and usually, I mean, this is almost always the case in Transformers, but animated clearly focuses on the robot mode. And, you know, Ratchet in particular has so much uniqueness going on in robot mode. Got to keep him in robot mode.
I heartily endorse every animated choice. So this is what happens when we get to the second podcast of the evening. I'm already gone.
I didn't know you were from Boston.
Endorse.
Hey, shut up about Boston next week. I'll kick your ass.
Oh, okay, well then maybe I won't.
Spoken like a Bostonite.
Is it Bostonian?
Yeah, it's Bostonian.
Great.
I like Bostonite.
Go right to violence.
Bostonite does sound way better.
It sounds too intelligent.
No.
All right, who is talking?
I like the baked beans you guys have. They're only $0.25.
All right, so in terms, I just feel like if I collected vehicles and animals, I'd just buy Hot Wheels and Schlage. You know.
Oh damn! All right, Rob, what will you be talking about this evening, sir?
All right, I have a wonderful bootleg animated Megatron that I procured from the flea market this weekend for a whopping $8, and he was on a J card, and the card was the size of the flea market.
That's the best part of a knockoff.
I know, it's like, if packaging's so expensive, how come the cheap knockoffs have the biggest cards in the fucking store?
I know, it's like a bonus on the back, like,
but,
you can slice it into sixths and use it as plates!
It's a Cybertronian mode. It's the Voyager one, not the deluxe one sized up, which is odd because the other two toys in the series was Protoform Prime sized up and the 07 movie 70s Bumblebee upsized. Well, they just used the Voyager Megatron. And he came with, each one comes with a Micromaster. I thought they were Minicons, but they're Micromasters. Mine came with Drop Shot, missing his chest piece, so he's just got these weird, inappropriate looking connector pieces on his chest. Because they molded that, but not the part that goes into it. Figure that one out. But yeah, he's Voyager size. He's even got the fusion cannon that shoots missiles, very limply, but they shoot missiles. And to make it actually attach in either, well, I would say jet mode, but I'm scared to transform this thing. Take a pocket knife and whittle out parts of the screw socket so I can put his gun in his arm. Might I add, he's painted. He's only cast in one color and only painted on the front. And he came with this very large rifle that he cannot hold, as he has open high hands. That I don't even know where this gun came from. I think the most interesting part of the toy is he had dust on the inside of the package. Like a lot of it. Like it looked like a dusty shelf inside the package. Like I opened it up and I started coughing.
That's sad.
He's pretty
Rob,
articulate.
you have the
though.
best stories.
I know.
Yeah, whenever you buy a bootleg, you just got to break out the Dremel. That's just how it is.
Yeah. The thing is, aside from that, he's, they didn't mold over any joints like they normally do with bootlegs. He's pretty solid as long as you don't attempt to transform because he's got this. I just don't think he'd hold up anymore if I twisted certain parts. But he's got and I'm not even sure what the hell this is supposed to be. He's got a wheel jutting out of his belly that I'm pretty sure the normal one doesn't have.
It's an animated version of
Thundercats.
So he transforms into a Roomba.
Thundercats, ho!
Although, I'd like to share the best parts of his packaging.
Okay.
Aside from the strange Taiwanese that I can't understand, on the side of it, it says, Distortion Best King. Yeah. He's from the Super Change series.
Must be made by Fox.
Yeah. On his little insert, it looks like the Transformers animated logo, but I've seen the Transformers logo in every language on Earth, and that's not it. So I have no clue what it says. And by all this crazy Taiwanese whatever, you see new arrival, because there's dust on the inside, but he's brand new. And then here's my favorite part. Collects the complete 3 sections. That's just randomly on the side. Yeah. I'm still looking for the 3 sections. Oh, and the Prime co-sell is of animated Prime, not the actual Prime toy they're trying to sell right next to it.
Most dust is dead human skin.
Mm-hmm. That's a factory word.
So, that's been somewhere clean.
I'll have you guys. I use hand sanitizer every time I touch this toy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'm scared of SARS.
I would scan the packaging a little more carefully to see if it says, free with anthrax.
I'm almost tempted to go get the other 2, but all the bumblebees were falling apart in the packaging as I looked at them. And the same guy sells a lot of airsoft rifles I'd rather have. So, flea markets.
I love them.
Gee, why is it they call those flea markets?
Because there's a bunch of fleas there?
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Ironically, the same one has a lot of pets for sale, which is kind of weird.
Possibly illegal, too, depending on your local regulations.
Yeah, that can't be good. If it's not illegal, it probably should be.
Wow. Okay, so do you want to regale us with any more flea market stories, Rob?
That's it for this week's adventure of Rob goes to a flea market and buys a piece of shit.
Tune in next week. Same Rob time, same Rob
channel. Ender doesn't go to the flea market.
In the chat room, Melinda's just posted a link to possibly the best named knockoff ever. It's an Energon Prime called Send the Books.
Wow. Send the books.
Man.
Send the books.
I've seen this.
Must have been some text from the cease and desist order they got.
It's Send the Books from the Robocar Energon line. I love the Beast Wars ones I found once that said Animism Defender.
I think I don't
know what the hell an animism is, but they're going to defend it.
Sounds, kind of dirty, really.
Yeah. We are Animism Defender. Save the day.
Sounds like a horrible 70s cartoon.
Animism, it sounds like a charge you get in Austria.
I've got a wonderful dog.
You have been charged with animism.
Oh, wow.
It hurts. We got a super double dealer knockoff who the package that said changes from truck to Missile Eagle. And I was like, I wish I had a Missile Eagle because that is awesome. Missile Eagle.
Okay, and finally, I will be talking about a toy in this segment. I don't know how you guys feel about Mighty Mugs. I personally love them. I don't know why.
They work for me.
They work for you? Well, that's good. At least I won't get ranted on by you for them. My entire top shelf is nothing but Mighty Mugs. Anywhere from every single currently released Transformers one to the G.I. Joe ones to Marvel. And tonight I am going to be talking about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is pretty much, the head mold is the same as the Human Torch one, so it's a giant flame on the top of his head. The box actually depicts the toy wrong because the box has part of his flame like the Donald Trump comb over on his eye. But the toy itself, the flames are all pointing up on the head. I like how they colored this on the head sculpt because it goes from bright yellow to a almost like Tropicana orangish color. And then the rest of him he's just black and silver. Excuse me, black and silver. Very, very cool. I usually have him posed next to Human Torch because obviously they have the same head sculpt and they kind of look like twins.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm holding a little bit of a grudge against some of the Marvel Mighty Mugs.
Okay.
For a very simple set of reasons. Because there is no Deadpool or Magneto.
Magneto's coming.
Is he? Okay.
Magneto.
There's a lot of figures I think don't make great Mighty Mugs, but they've done them anyway. Now, lots of things do make great Mighty Mugs, but they've done just a ton of things. It's like you need some kind of accessory to make this play, and they seem to laze out on a lot of them. Some of them they don't, but a lot of them they do. And Magneto and Deadpool, between the Buckethead and the Spider-Man rehash, are really easy Mighty Mugs. And I just don't see why they're not out.
Well, I know for a fact that supposedly Iceman and Magneto were coming. I don't know exactly when. I know the most recently released ones are the Iron Man Mark VI and War Machine.
Well, obviously. You know.
Yeah, because of the movie.
Gee, I wonder why they're doing that.
Yeah. But overall, I think Ghost Rider is fairly good. It's a fair representation of the character. My only complaint, along with you, Ender, a lot of the Marvel ones do not come with accessories, and then some of them just automatically surprise me that do. Like the Logan figure, which is him in a wife beater and jeans. He comes with an actual cowboy hat that detaches.
That's pointless.
I know it's pointless, but it's
just
funny.
Supremely pointless. Well, I mean, like, you're talking about Ghost Rider here. Does he come with, like, where's the little, like, translucent thing that should go over his head that's in flames? Like, wouldn't that make that toy have a point? I don't know.
Well, I will send you a link here in a second to the Ghost Rider image.
Does he have something like that? I mean, or they just paint flames on the side of the round head while they give Wolverine a hat?
No, the flames are actually molded onto the head.
Okay, but it does have something beyond just the regular circular dome?
Yes.
Okay, I can get behind that.
You know,
if you're going to give Wolverine a hat, you could give Ghost Rider some flames. You know?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where some of them are. I don't know what the budget is on these. I don't know if it's the same as, say, a deluxe class, or I seriously doubt it's the same as a leader class toy. But some of the budget on them is very, very just weird because it's weird what they put into it.
Oh, for God's sake, what could the budget be? It's the same mold, essentially, over and over again. It's repaint heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just printing money with those.
You know, the only different one I've ever seen so far is the Jean Grey Phoenix one. Her hairpiece detaches. It's a wig, and she has two heads. She has two faces on her head. There's the link to the Wave 3 version. Ghost Rider's at the bottom.
I mean, there's Spider-Man printing money.
Yeah.
But Doc Ock and Thor, those are both, at least there's something different about it. Okay, I see, yeah. Yeah, Ghost Rider, at least he's got something going there. Now, that bit on his head is that detachable, or is that...
No, it's molded in. It's just like the Human Torch one, they're both molded in.
I took great offense to the fact that neither of the Optimus Prime Mighty Mugs had... If they just made the little sort of ear antennas come up a bit, that totally would have made those figures. And they could have used it for both of them.
Yeah.
But as it is, they're just Spider-Man there, painted like Optimus Prime toys. It's funny because I'm not a big repaint guy in terms of getting those, but I'm thinking about those now. It's like, you know what? Technically, those are the same mold. One is G1 Prime, and the other is Movie Prime, but they're the same damn mold.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot more Mighty Mugs than I ever realized.
Here's
going through this little site.
Yeah.
There's the link to the page where Magneto is.
Ooh. I love me some Magneto.
Magneto is basically cool. Cobra Commander repainted with a cape that's painted purple instead of blue.
Oh, I'm so snag! It's awesome.
And the Iceman is even awesomer because it looks like the snowball attaches to his hand. Ones do not come with accessories. Like the G.I. Joe ones come with a lot of accessories, and the Transformers do. Marvel ones, however, don't.
Oh, cool. Punisher comes with a little machine gun.
Yes.
I kind of regret not snagging the Snake Eyes.
I can get them from BigBadToyCast.com or tfgo.net/.
Well, what a fantastic idea.
Yes.
I've gotten most of the Transformers, I think.
I've got...
I don't know if or not, but... Actually, someone gifted me the G1 Prime and Megs again, so I gave them my daughter.
And the only G1 Transformers Mighty Mug I cannot stand is Bumblebee.
Yeah, I have one of him because I found him on clearance for like $2. I wasn't too into him either. I couldn't say no to that, though.
Yeah.
But overall. He even has some difference to him, but we're sort of like, wow, what totally uncalled for difference.
Yeah, he's pretty much the mini-me of the Mighty Mugs.
Wow, what an awesome alliteration.
Well, because he's the midget of the out of every single Mighty Mug I own, he is the smallest one. I actually took a picture once. I'll have to find it and I'll have to send it to you guys. I don't know where it is.
Of the Mighty Mugs.
Well, I took a picture of, because I have the movie Bumblebee. Unfortunately, I bought the entire wave of that just to get the G1 ones in that wave. But I stood the movie version of Bumblebee on the top of G1 Bumblebee's ears, and they held the pose perfectly till I took the picture, and I barely got the picture. I just put a link in Skype. That's the only way you're going to get a Snake Eyes through BBTS is in the Wave 2 set. The Destro is actually very awesome. The Destro's head is cool.
Yeah, I've seen the Destro. The Destro's been pretty tempting too.
Yeah. Baroness just sucks. I talked about her in a past episode of ToyCast. Instead of doing a wig mold like they did with the Phoenix character, it's just glued on there. It's a hairpiece glued on. It's another Donald Trump thing.
You're fired, darling.
Well, all right. Well, I appreciate all you guys being on here. I think we're going to wrap up this segment. I'm not sure which segment we're going to go to next, but very happy you guys could make it on. Again, Ender, I can't say enough good things about that rant that you did. Oh my God. That was just...
Well, look forward to more swearing in the future.
There's always more swearing. Ender is a bottomless pit of words.
Why don't you guys...
There are no bad words, there are only bad intentions.
And beats. Why don't you guys each sign off one at a time?
Why?
Because... I don't feel like reading down the list again, and Brian isn't here.
I'm Ender, and I hate XV's lame sign-off.
I'm XV, and I think my sign-off is really awesome.
I'm John, and I have no opinion.
John has good artistic skills, though, with those RFC posters.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
John does.
Thank you,
I'm Ender, and XV signed off twice.
I'm XV, and shut the hell up, Ender.
Is Rob even still alive, or did he burp himself to death?
I'm here.
You sound like Eeyore.
This is TFG1Mike, and I'm from RFC, but... Oh, sorry.
You bastard.
And we're all going to go play Pooh Sticks after this.
Yes.
Pooh Sticks! Gonna go play with Pooh Sticks!
Alrighty then.
Sound like you just don't care. Pooh Sticks by Nerf.
Up next on ToyCast, you will hear some sort of audio included, all of the toys that we've talked about in this segment. We will be back after this message.
And now it's time for another special feature.
This is Radio Free Cybertron.
Thank God Hasbro isn't Mattel. Ender, the floor is yours.
Oh. Mattel's Masters of the Universe has gotten to be like the most malignant, moronic, mishandled line in history. Not since a Hasbro creative meeting, when one executive blurted out, "Let's kill the red truck guy," has a franchise been handled worse. The Masters of the Universe classics are an amazing line. They use modern toy-making techniques to bring out the best of a vintage figure, retaining its charm and essence while consistently exceeding modern quality standards and delivering fan-driven fun for the adult collector at a price that, while higher than average, is altogether reasonable. Sadly, the He-Man Genius Falcon reaches its apex at this conceptual stage, and then careens out of the sky with the aerodynamic grace of a quadriplegic hippo with an inner ear infection, plummets through a sky of inept customer service, plows straight and through a swamp of incompetent planning, and rests broken and ruptured in a bedrock of useless management. MattyScalper.com's inability to even handle its monthly server load, much less the demand for its product, has settled into a comfortable pattern of letting itself be milked by scalpers at a rate of 10 figures an order, while the real customers wait in error screens. Meanwhile, scalpers, who are, by the way, the most worthless scum on earth, have already posted their overpriced rip-off auctions on the well-oiled servers of eBay, touting the items' rarity due to a false scarcity they themselves have created with the foolish help of Mattel. Nothing endears fans to a brand like having legal tender slapped out of their hands as they attempt to exchange it for your product. The Band-Aid of a club was offered, seemingly a reasonable fix. You commit to buying the figures, and they guarantee you one. Simple enough. Until the line branches out into non-club figures, and the cycle begins again, as Battle Cat is snapped up by the scalping horde, and He-Man fans get shackled with Wondar, a not remake of a never-was exclusive. Now, underestimating demand for a fan line or miscalibrating your limits is not an unreasonable error. They have to make a profit and have to hedge their bets. However, one might think that after 1.5 to 2 years might be enough time to calibrate well enough that your servers don't crash every full moon and your product lasts more than half a hour. Mattel, get your together. Fire everyone on this project who is not a designer and sell us our toys. We give you money, you give us stuff.
Alright, so far we've heard from General Tekno, where we announced the winner of the contest for episode 50. Then we heard from the Radio Free Cybertron guys. Now we've got Steve Megatron. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
A little tired at this point in time.
Yes, we're trying desperately not to date these segments, but they're probably going to be dated. But anyway, who will you be talking about on ToyCast episode 50?
Justice League Unlimited Wildcard Joker.
Uh-huh. You finally got him, huh?
Yes.
And
I paid way too much for him.
Does your wife know that?
No. She doesn't know about a lot of the figures I bought recently, so.
Uh-oh.
But I'm done for the most part now, so that is the good thing.
So what makes this Joker one of your favorites?
My favorite aspect of this Joker, I'd have to say, is not only is the coloration correct, well, according to the last time you see the Joker in Justice League Unlimited, as well as Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, like the younger Joker.
Mm-hmm.
This has exact colorations and design of that Joker. For once, they actually captured the essence of him and didn't manage to screw it up. So, but yeah, the coloration on the head is black, the lips and around the eyes is black. The skin color is off-white, kind of greenish, and the color of the suit is purple, but it's that lighter purple. Pretty much that image you sent me to make for the Secret Origins with the Joker inside the screen, inside the screen, inside the screen. It looks exactly like that Joker.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, like you said, it was from the episode of Wild Cards, so, and that's where that screen cap came from. So.
Well, see, I haven't seen the shows, so I wasn't quite up to date on my information on that, but.
Yeah. Huh.
But yes, this by far is my favorite of the younger Joker figures.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would recommend them if you could get your hands on them and find them.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it is a bitch to find on eBay. It is a Target exclusive apparently, and it comes with like the Black Canary and Batman. Like we don't have enough releases of Batman. Pretty much on eBay, if you're looking to get it, you can find it on there.
But you're going to be paying out your ass.
Well, you're going to be paying $20 for a toy that you could buy the whole set for $20.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, you can buy the whole set on eBay for $30. So I mean, yeah, $10, but I don't know. I
just won't, I'll go into Target Target is mainly where I go to look at the DC stuff, and while I have nothing against it, I do have some of the DC Heroes line, which I really don't even want because I've said plenty of times before, they have no stand-up ability. They just don't. They're figures that I should have left mint on card and just displayed them that way because they just suck out of the package. But every time I go to Target and I look at the DC stuff, the DC Universe Justice League stuff, it does look cool, but I would much rather get the shit from Target than fucking scalpers on eBay.
Yeah, I would as well. It's just that this figure came out in 2007, I believe, so it's a rare thing to come across.
Yeah.
Because my dumb ass, of course, misses the boat the first time around on everything, so I have to play catch-up.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, yeah, that's essentially what happened to me.
Yeah, that's
I
not
had
good.
to pay up the butt to get this figure. I paid less for two different styles of... For 3 of the Joker figures that I got, I paid the exact same amount.
Wow.
I bought the original Joker from Batman Animated Series. I bought his newer rendition between the Justice League look and the original Batman Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the Wild Card Joker, which was the exact same body mold of this, but a different paint job. It was more reminiscent of the colors of the first Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't... It was the one that I used because it was only $5. Rather than 20. That's the one I chose to gut and create my Batman Beyond Joker, which I'm still working on because I'm waiting on paint. Actually, money to get paint.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, I definitely say I like this figure. It's pretty kick-ass.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good. You have anything else you want to say about him?
No, I think I pretty much summed up this tiny little toy.
Is it a clown in your pocket, or are you just happy to be here? I've been talking about different toys throughout episode 50. I think so far I've talked about Mighty Mug's Punisher, Mighty Mug's Ghost Rider, and I'm actually going to switch it up. I'm going to go to the G.I. Joe side of the Mighty Mugs, and I'm going to talk about Duke. Now, off the top of my head, I don't remember Duke in the cartoon. In the Sunbow series. Hopefully, one of these days I can get around to getting that G.I. Joe Footlocker set from Shout Factory at some point, so I can rewatch the whole show. But Duke is alive, and he is not in a coma. He has a super giant head. I have the same complaints with this Mighty Mug as I do with Punisher, whereas on his face, for some strange reason, he has the white flesh tone, or the Caucasian flesh tone for the majority, but then he has like darker, I guess you could call them tan spots, like around his nose and like under his, I don't know, I guess he's supposed to be like some sort of goatee for him, but under his neck, separate from his hairline color, it's like a darker piece of flesh tone. It's like it's like somebody spray tanned him, but not all the way done.
That's nice.
Yeah. While these aren't as noticeable on, I mean, they're noticeable on him, but they're not as bad as the Punisher ones, because the Punisher ones, it's like the whole inside of his cheeks are that color and everything else. Very, very cool. He does have one of the things that surprised me about the G.I. Joe Mighty Mugs is just some of the paint details that go into them. Didn't notice this before, but he has on his right arm an American flag. Well, it's actually a backwards American flag, but I mean, you get the idea. And at first I thought,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. At first I thought his accessory, I thought it was a rocket launcher. Apparently it's some sort of machine gun rifle something or other, but it's green, and just the way it just looks like it's a fucking rocket launcher. And he does have the painted on his chest. He has the like the over the shoulder satchel of, I guess it's supposed to be a grenade and then clips of ammo. I don't know. On his crotch piece, he does have a silver star, which I guess that's cartoon accurate. I'm not really sure. But overall, he's
top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Overall, he's a pretty cool figure. Not really much to write home about. Hell, he's better than the Baroness. Oh my God, that toy! I think I talked about that one in. It's either a past episode of ToyCast or a future episode of ToyCast. I don't remember, but her head sculpt, her hair, it's like glued on, where like you can't even move it. So you know how on Optimus Prime and Soundwave, where if you put their arm too close to their face, their gun will turn kind of left, like so it's away from their face. She won't even do that. She has less arm she has the worst arm articulation out of any of the Mighty Mugs. And Duke here has about the same as any of them. Actually, his gun's not going to stay in his hand at the moment, but it's going to. Damn it, stay in there, bastard. But you know, overall, obviously, you can't have a G.I. Joe line without Duke. I'm actually surprised they haven't done Flint and Lady J or any of the other characters.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising.
Well, I heard that the third wave of G.I. Joe figures of G.I. Joe Mighty Mugs was canceled. In that wave, we would have gotten Serpentor, the other Shipwreck, and somebody else. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I heard that wave was canceled.
Well, Serpentor would have been kick-ass to see.
Yeah. Yep. Duke is Duke, I guess. I don't know. I really can't formulate a good opinion on the Mighty Mug because, like I said, I haven't seen the cartoon recently. So I think that's going to do it for this segment. And I know, of course, when I talk to Michael Wilson and tell him all the stuff that we've recorded so far, he's like, "You're going through your toys too fast. You're not going to have any toys later to talk about." Well, no, I will have plenty, because I've already said in this episode, I got a lot of Mighty Mugs for my birthday this year, so I have plenty of them to talk about that I haven't talked about yet, so... and plus, we've pre-recorded a lot of upcoming episodes. Episodes 51 through 55 are already recorded, so... getting together a little backlog just to, save face, I guess. You have anything else you would like to say, sir?
Nope, think that's it.
Alright, we are going to move on, so we will be back after this. This is the final segment for ToyCast episode 50. I am TFG1Mike as usual, and in this time around, I have with me the very sick Pecan Court Michael. Hello.
I'm so sick.
Yeah, and we're not talking about his normal dirty old man tactics. We're talking about physically spewing snot.
Yeah, I'm far too ill to be dirty.
Wow, that can still be taken out of context.
I like to be wrong on multiple levels. So wrong. So wrong.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and this will be the final segment for episode 50. I will probably be putting this together as soon as we're done with it, done recording this part, and it'll be out, I think, Thursday. We have already announced the winner. NightMax, congratulations to you. We will be sending you a Recon Ravage at some point, as soon as we get your information. So I'll send you an email or something, and we'll just deal with it that way.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Would like to thank everybody again for entering the contest and for sending in voicemails. Sorry to the Andrew that called in and got the show title right, but the host name wrong. Yeah, you need to start listening more, dude. Paying attention. Well, Mike the Birdman Dodd's only been in one episode of this entire show, and he called him out, saying congratulations to him when he really has nothing to do with ToyCast whatsoever.
Congratulations, Dodd. You run an awesome podcast. This isn't your podcast, though. So,
anyways, yeah. I'd like to give a great shout out to everybody who's joined me. Steve Megatron and I did a segment. Obviously, Tekno and I did a segment so we could announce the winner. That'll be the first segment you all have heard. The guys at Radio Free Cybertron, Brian Kilby, XV, Ender, John DeLuna, Rob Springer, really great guys. Thank you for coming on the show. And last but certainly not least, Michael Wilson.
That's me.
Yes. And we will probably actually be recording 2 segments with Mr. Wilson. The actual toy discussion that we're going to be doing here in a couple seconds. And then after that, we're going to cut to his special features that he recorded for us.
You're actually going to play those?
Yeah. They're going to be separate from the voicemails.
Okay.
It's not going to... Because the whole point of the voicemails was the contest entries.
Yeah, well, you can repurpose those however you like.
Yeah. Well, anyways. So who will you be talking about in this episode 50 segment?
Well, today I brought a G2 space case out of the display cabinet, so I thought we would review him.
Okay.
And he's kind of... I'm completely ignoring you while I play with space case. But yeah, he's very cool. He's one of the G2 Cyberjet line. And these are real. I mean, the Cyberjet toys, if you're not familiar with them, were, I don't want to say like the predecessors to the super articulation of the Beast Wars line, but yeah, pretty close. These guys were some of the first ones to feature. I want to say
articulation.
No, they're ball joint articulation everywhere. They've got ball joints at the hips, ball joints at the knees, ball joints at the shoulders and at the elbows, and literally, you can just pose them in ways that you could never pose a G1 toy.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, they're just capable of all sorts of neat things. They're I want to say like a little stick Foss, if you're familiar with that line.
No.
These little stick figures that are literally, they come on a sprue. You pull all the pieces off and put them all together by hand, and their entire body is just a whole bunch of ball joints.
Mm.
So yeah, he's just a whole mess of ball joints. He has a very unique transformation that I haven't really seen repeated in recent times. I mean, sometimes you'll see Transformers. It's like, wow, didn't they just do that? They're all seem the same. But this guy, he's pretty unique in his transformation. I won't go too far into details, but the fact that he's got some other neat features that were suitable for the Cyberjets.
Are the Cyberjets all this type of model plane?
Not this particular model. There were 3 models, and each one had 2 repaints.
Okay, because just looking at the image on the wiki, now I don't really. I'd have to look at I know that there's a difference between G1 and G2 jets, but his cockpit seems awfully long in robot mode. The point is hanging down. Like the way that they have the picture that's on the wiki, the way they have his legs posed, it's awfully down in between his legs.
Yeah, it's hanging there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not the size; it's how you use it. That you knew that.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but I'm just saying it's
okay.
It's kind of weird to see a Transformer with. Wait, maybe this is where they decided to put Devastator balls on Devastator. They had transforming cocks in G2.
No, they had transforming cocks long before this. The whole Cyberjet line, all of them have low hanging cocks. So cockpits.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, but the nice thing about this particular figure, unlike some of the other Cyberjets, is that let me preface this. All of the Cyberjets have a hook. It's like a claw. I want to say for an arm, but yeah, most of them have a claw for an arm. That claw then, when they transform, situates on top of the plane, and it's kind of neat because in plane mode they've got another missile sitting on top of their claw, or if you pop a missile into it, sitting on top of their plane mode. Space Case, his claw sits underneath the carriage while he's transformed into plane mode.
Yeah, the red part.
The black part is the claw.
What?
But then the claw, if you look on the wiki, on the picture there, he's got a black claw on his arm, and then that claw can then hold a missile.
Okay, yeah, I know, yeah, I see. Yeah, I thought you were talking about his upper arms and his legs as far as the red part, but yeah, no, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got this missile that plugs into the claw, so it's almost like a null ray hanging off the arm.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, I'm pretty sure other Cyberjets have the claw as part of their arm, as opposed to hanging off of it. Because I've got Hooligan here, and Hooligan's just got an arm with no hand. His arm ends in the claw, and the claw can hold the missile. Or you can put the missiles as a club in their little fist socket there, the little hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they can all... And all the missiles are pretty much the same. They can all trade missiles. They're different colors.
Yeah, they look to be early versions. The missiles look to be early versions. I said it again. I said that earlier this episode, but early early versions of the translucent missiles we will get nowadays.
Yeah, maybe. It depends. I mean, some Transformers have actual missiles that fire. These missiles don't really fire. They're kind of like those early childproof ones.
Right.
They don't have spring-loaded mechanisms. They've got a little ball halfway down, and that ball fits into the claw. And the idea there is if you push on the end hard enough, it will forcefully eject it out. But you're pushing it yourself. You're not like pushing a trigger and having it launched.
Right.
So I mean that's kind of a cheap way to go. They still do that. I'm trying to think of some recent examples, but I can't off the top of my head. The closest I can think of is like Armada Sideways.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back on topic. Yeah. So in jet mode, he's got a nice yellow cockpit. The yellow carries over into his robot head. He's got some nice yellow light piping there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also take his two missiles and affix them into slots under each wing.
Yeah, I see that in the picture there.
So it's almost like a G.I. Joe vehicle where you've got, the weapons under the wings. I dig that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got fold-down landing gear.
Yep.
Which is always a bonus, especially in figures this size. I mean...
Now, what is he? Is he a deluxe, or is he...
I don't know. I mean, he's small enough, he could easily pass for a basic.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I've got him standing right next to...
Rat Trap?
No, not Rat Trap. I've got alternators. Transformers Animated Prime. What was that called? The
The Cybertronian mode?
No. The small ones, with the flip gimmick.
Oh, the activators.
The activated. I keep wanting to say alternators. I'm sick. All right, so the alternators Prime. He's about the same size as
activators.
You
know what's funny? I'm not trying to derail your conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk either. Yeah. I actually saw an Activators Prime in Rite Aid today.
Yeah.
And I saw him and I saw Ratchet, and I almost pulled the trigger on it, even though I'm not an Activators fan at all.
Yeah.
But the $11.99 price tag for a fucking activator just stopped me in my tracks.
Wow, I think I paid like $8.99.
I know.
Which is a lot, because I mean these guys are basically scout sized.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is though, Rite Aid is one of those specialty stores, and they don't have any clue as to Transformers toy pricing. They had a Tankor, a Universe Tankor, Octane. They wanted $18 for it.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's Rite Aid. It's a specialty drugstore. Half of their stock, at the back of the store, is alcohol. So
okay.
What they're thinking. Yeah. Anyway,
well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to cover G2 Space Case, in my rambling, long, drawn out style, is basically because the new BotCon 2010 coming out. They're redoing or they're repainting a lot of the newer molds in G2 colors, and they just released a Pyro, or I should say Universe Inferno, dressed up in G2 Pyro colors, which are just insane colors. It's horrible, horrible colors. But to see a new figure painted up in this horrible 1990s getup is amazing. The same thing, they did a G2 breakdown, and he's like green and pink. It's insane.
Yeah, green, pink, and some sort of purple.
Oh my God, is it crazy? So, but I mean, the awful colors were, part and parcel for the G2 line. There's a whole bunch of really horrible paint jobs. The Cyberjets, some of them were really good, and some of them were just like, what the hell? Like, Space Case has a weird blue kind of a grid pattern across the whole top.
Yeah, but
and in
the
robot
color's
mode,
that bad though.
no, it's nice. It's blue and black, kind of a grid diamonds, and you can only see the cockpit part when he's in robot mode, but in jet mode, it's really out there. And then on top of that is this weird. It's like a bird. It's definitely got like I want to say almost like a laser beak head on one side of it, but it's kind of like a Kremzik bird in red. It's electrical, but it's bird.
Oh
it's electric bird.
Yeah, the red pattern on his on the wings. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got that on top of that, and then you've got some of the yellow bits. They kind of blend together. The missiles and the cockpit and the head, and then the plastic in the head itself is blue to match the grid. So I mean, he comes together nicely. He's not ridiculously ugly like some of the G2 molds were. But it would be really neat to see a jet repainted in this style for the BotCon set.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, of the Cyberjets, this is the one that they might be most likely to go with. Hooligan, who is a Cyberjet, he has got one of those off-the-wall patterns where he is orange with tiger stripes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sick. Yeah, so he's orange and he's got tiger stripes on his wings. He's got actually decals on his sweep wings where they sweep out. And on his rear wings, the stabilizers, there's little flying tigers on that too. But I mean, he's the Tony Tiger of Cyberjets.
Yeah.
It's in fact, I think I took a picture of him on my Flickr. I'm not sure.
I saw the picture on the wiki, so.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, he's got a really, really cool paint job. But I don't think they're going to repaint him for the BotCon set because they just did an homage to Hooligan. Hooligan came out in '95. In '09, there was a Walmart exclusive set called a Fierce Swoop.
And wasn't that part of the Revenge of the Fallen line?
Yeah.
So they probably would not do one for BotCon because of that unfortunate fact. Is because they.
Well, what I would say is the Revenge of the Fallen Fierce Swoop was a repaint of Dreadwing from the first movie, and he was, I want to say he was more of one of the drones from the Transformer game because he's got that flashlight head thing going on.
Oh, okay.
Where all the Decepticon drones from that game had a flashlight head.
Okay.
And you see a lot of Transformers coming out for that first movie. That had the flashlight head. And it's like, God, that is ugly. Why don't they have faces? Well, it's because they were actually drones from that earlier game.
Right.
So, Dreadwing, he's an okay jet, but they repainted him as Fierce Swoop. I think that was like the third or fourth repaint for that toy. If they repainted a different figure, I don't think that they're going to repaint any of the movie toys. But if they went with, any random jet, let's say, they could probably get away with it. Mm. But, like I said, since they've already had a recent repaint in '09, or an homage, let's say, they're probably not going to go with that particular toy. Or that particular figure, I should say. The paint job. Now, the other one that had an interesting paint job was Skyjack. And Skyjack was more of a stealth bomber. He was one of those that had the hook for a hand, and the hook kind of came out the tail end in jet mode.
Mm-hmm.
He was black, just like a stealth bomber, but the whole back end of the jet was kind of this weird red and yellow. I want to say almost like fire deco. It wasn't so much fire; it's more of a
Now, is this...
It's red with a yellow squiggly line around it. It's weird. It's not so much fire. It's just kind of strange.
Is this Skyjet, the Cyberjet from 95, right?
Right, so Skyjack. Now, Skyjack had another homage in 09.
Yeah,
Hasbro couldn't get the name Skyjack again, so they called him Skyfall.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, Skyfall was a repaint of the Ultra Class Universe Silverbolt.
Yeah.
So they have this, little tiny basic size Skyjack in 95, and he gets upgraded to Ultra Class in 09. But
the numbers are different on those two toys.
Didn't realize that. What's the number?
Skyfall, the Ultra Skyfall is FB129, and then on Skyjack himself in the G2 colors, he is FB117.
Huh. I have no idea what those numbers would signify.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But no, it was a nice repaint of that mold. I dug it. I thought it looked good. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it on the wiki, he doesn't have the. I don't want to say yellow highlights. He has some yellow highlights, but on the tail end of the jet mode, the red and the black aren't bordered with the yellow squiggly lines.
You mean on Skyfall or Skyjack?
Skyfall.
Oh, okay.
Now Skyfall has some yellow highlights on his gun and on his chest and face in robot mode, but he doesn't have those same yellow markings on the back of the plane.
Yeah, that's probably because it's the Universe Silverbolt mold, and where else are they going to put it into the Paint app back there?
Yeah, but no, it looks good. It's not, it's not spot on, but I mean the homage is there. It looks nice, but because Skyjack has already been repainted, they probably won't go with that either. The other Cyberjets are a little more plain. No pun intended, right? They're just they're more military.
Yeah.
Strafe is kind of a brown and green khaki. They've got another one here, and I forget his name. He's a repaint of Hooligan, and God, he's gray. He's just kind of a gray camouflage, and that's nice. But I really think that what they're going for in the BotCon set are just off the wall decos that you would never really expect or never expect to see on a toy ever again. And for those two, it would have to either be Hooligan or Space Case.
Ah.
Yeah, because Space Case is just out there. I mean, he kind of reminds me of and G.I. Joe had a jet. It was the Conquest with a sweep wing like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they did a Python Patrol repaint of that, where the for some reason Cobra decided that this weird yellow and brown grid pattern was the way to go with all their troops and vehicles. So they repainted a bunch of vehicles like that. You have to look it up, but
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah,
interesting. It's an interesting deco. I dig it.
I just think that they're not one of the reasons why last year's set. I just didn't care for it at all. And this year's set, even though we haven't seen all the figures, I'm not really that interested. I like I said to you off air, it's not that I dislike it. It's just it's not my thing. Yeah. I wish that they would do something more to my own liking, kind of like,
What do you have in mind?
Well, I know this will never happen, but I think
they're not going to go back and do more Shattered Glass.
Well, I mentioned to Tekno that we need a Shattered Glass Beast Wars.
Oh God!
What?
Sadly enough, that could happen. You know what I'm noticing now in the Transformers Collector Club official magazine is that it looks to me like they're trying to go full circle with some of their earlier. So like last year they had Cup and these other characters that they kind of made up. Well, Cup they didn't make up, but the other ones they kind of made up. And they look to be fighting the virulent clones from I believe it's the 05 set. Yeah, where you had Deathsaurus and he was creating the bugs. Well, now you've got Cup and the Elite Guard fighting these giant bugs.
Which was a total animated ripoff. I don't know. I understand why the BotCon will never do an animated set until, whatever. But hello, that was a whole like the Elite Guard thing. Even though it's a symbol on the box, it was just like the animated symbol, except they made it look more like General Transformers-ish. Oh god, that's why last year's set pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what I'm leading into here is that you're starting to see some crossover with their earlier characters. And what I think would be interesting is if they mixed the Shattered Glass, which was 08, with the Beast Wars Cybertron modes, which was 06.
Ah.
So now we get Shattered Glass, Beast Wars, Cybertron modes. Which I don't think... I think in 06 they focused more on the Maximals, and then you had a couple Predacons as chase figures.
Yeah.
But I think it would be interesting, to take your idea, let's say, and do Predacons, heroic Cybertronian mode Predacons.
I just, as much as I love my Shattered Glass Beast Wars idea, I don't know what a heroic Beast Wars Megatron would look like, would sound like, would act like, especially with the rubber ducky. I just can't picture it because, and on the same thing is, I don't know how, like, say David K. came back and did, a voice actor panel at, whatever future BotCon this may, this might happen, like, hypothetically happen, this whole idea of mine. I don't know what a David K. heroic Megatron voice would sound like.
Right. Well, they'd have to... I don't think they would use the same mold that they used for evil, Cybertronian mode Megatron back when they did it, but they'd have to. Well, most likely the toy that they would use probably hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't use anything from animated.
Yeah, and see that's a damn
they can't
thing.
Use the movie stuff.
Well, the movie stuff I don't care. I don't want to see the movie stuff at BotCon.
I don't either.
I do want to see the animated stuff at BotCon. I would love to see that. That would be so awesome.
I just don't see. I don't think they would.
I know.
Now, if they really cheaped out, we could see a Shattered Glass animated.
Exactly. Stop reading my mind, damn it. That's exactly what I was going to say. Fuck.
But that would be so easy, and it wouldn't.
Yeah, but it would go so well with what we already have for animated, because I remember on that TFCon panel that Derek Wyatt did that I've been watching on YouTube. Yeah. One of the questions was, what was there ever any idea of doing animated Shattered Glass? And he said yes, but it never really went anywhere. Yeah. So it would be nice to get Shattered Glass animated in toys. Yes, win right there.
It would be interesting. They released a what was his name? It was one of those, and I'm sick. I don't remember now. But, the animated had those pullback ones where you push the button there, you bumper battlers.
Yeah, bumper battlers.
Yeah, they released a bumper battler Prime in purple and green. He looks very Shattered Glass.
No,
and it was called like Night Watch.
Yeah, Night Watch. It was actually teal and black. It wasn't purple and green.
No, I've got it right in front of me. He's purple and green and red, and he's got a gray body. I'm looking right at him, but he's really neat. But he's got neat colors on him, but he's not, evil Autobot Prime. He's not quite Shattered Glass,
Yeah.
But he's not Prime colors at all. He's very funky.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can kind of get a glimpse of what that might look like. I think it would be really neat as long as they're mixing mixing the mythoses from their previous box sets, as if they went with a Shattered Glass, Cybertronian Beast Wars.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
You know, it would be really funky. And now that I'm staring up on top of my desk, I have all my titaniums, and it's like, holy crap! What would happen if they did an entire box set of titaniums? It would be a heavy-ass box set.
Yep.
But
it would probably cost, and instead of costing $300, the set would cost $600 because it's twice as heavy.
Well, it would cost that much more to ship.
Yeah.
But, you've already got your Optimal Optimus. You've already got your Cheetor. You could throw Rodimus Prime in there just for fun. They could do something interesting with these.
Mm-hmm.
Make them all... Yeah, because... Oh, cool. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. You could take War Within Fallen, the Fallen, and repaint that in red and white and blue and call him, Heroic Megatron.
Oh, God. I am so sick of the fucking Fallen.
No, give him a new head. That would be a nice figure, actually.
Do you have anything else to say about Space Case?
I think we've already fallen off that path. And
okay, well then I'm going to head into my path because we still haven't done mine yet.
Probably better off that we do.
Yeah, I am going to, well, as this is the last segment in ToyCast 50, everyone has already heard that I've done, I think I've done Mighty Mugs for the most part of all this entire episode, which kind of breaks the tradition that I was doing with the Robot Heroes, but only because I was saving the Robot Heroes for this recording. And I am going to be reviewing the final ones that I have in my collection. The best ones that I think, the best set out of all the ones that I have, Optimus Prime and Ravage.
Which Prime is that? Is that with or without Matrix?
Without.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately it's without.
I don't have that one.
Oh. Okay.
I have the one with the Matrix, and he's cool, but it would still be neat to have the one without.
Well, the one without, is actually very, very cool. He's
like disco dancing.
Kinda?
He's like pointing down, and he points back up, and then he points back down, and he points back up.
Well, I always have him posed where his gun hand is pointing up, and his pointer finger is pointing out, so it's kind of like, Uncle Optimus wants you, join the military now.
Uncle Optimus wants you to pull his finger. Oh, that was Ravage. It wasn't me. Ravage is under the table over there.
Oh, Lord. That's funny.
Ravage is sick of being blamed for your gas. Just stop right now.
Well, it's one of those things where it's Optimus Prime. It's probably the most show-accurate Optimus that I have. Because, let's face it, G1 Optimus is not show-accurate whatsoever. And I have yet to find someone to get me a Masterpiece Optimus, which I know will never happen.
He's so, super deformed, though. I mean...
Well, at least...
It's hard to call him accurate, given the fact that he's, squished down to that size.
Well, yeah, but at least his back isn't wide open and you can see his windshield.
That's true.
So
he looks good, though. I mean,
oh yeah,
good figure.
Oh yeah, very much so. And I like how they did the wheels on the side. On the side of him, it's actually really cool. His legs are not very posable. I mean, as posable as you can get with a robot hero, but his legs move more than any other robot heroes that I have.
Huh.
Which is kind of weird. They're just kind of like rubbery moving, like my animated Prime. My Voyager animated Prime can do the splits like it's nobody's business. This guy can barely get it done. I'd have to have him on the edge of something to see if he could do the splits.
He's actually got articulation there? Or
not
is it just
really. They're just
bending.
Yeah, it's just slightly bending. It's not really articulation, but...
Oh, yeah, because mine has... And again, I don't have the same one. I've got a different one, but... He has no articulation, but you can still wiggle his legs a little.
Yeah, that's the same thing with mine.
Okay.
And then, of course, he's got his classic blaster in his other hand, which is very cool. One thing I find really weird with this whole finger pointing thing, the first thing I tried when I got it was I wanted to see, and of course I'm trying to do it now as I'm talking, with Ravage, Ravage's mouth is partly open.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
So I wanted to see if Ravage could bite Optimus's finger off. And he can. Optimus's finger fits all the way into Ravage's mouth.
Ravage's mouth is just bendy enough that you can...
No, I don't even have to bend Ravage's mouth. It can fit,
it just tucks right in there?
Yeah, it plops right in there.
Okay.
I mean, granted, it's not going to stay in there, but...
You can wag his tail, too.
No, he can't.
It's bendy.
Oh, yes. Alright,
it's not articulated.
Yeah,
it's bendy. Yeah, it's about as articulated as Prime's legs.
Legs, yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as Ravage goes, this is the cute Ravage, not like that brown piece of shit Revenge of the Fallen Robot Heroes rip-off piece of crap. Ravage is black, damn it, not fucking shit brown.
G1 Ravage has 1 point of articulation.
His head.
His head, that's it.
But that's okay.
Ravage. That's all he needs. That's
yeah,
fine.
I mean that's fine. I mean his front paws kind of like bend a little bit, but they don't like move.
He can tap his foot.
He can tap his foot.
That's about all he can. He can tap his foot. He can wag his tail. He can move his jaw a little bit, but that's because he's made out of bendy plastic, not so much because he's articulated. But I mean,
his jaw. Okay, you can. I see. I didn't know that about his jaw.
Oh yeah, it's got a little give to it.
Okay, see, I didn't know.
Bendy plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no hinge there. He's not meant to do that.
Right.
But the fact that, I mean, honestly, the Robot Heroes line has more articulation than most people give them credit for.
Oh yeah.
Robot Heroes in general, the fact that they can move their head back and forth or their arms up and down.
Right.
I mean, literally, these guys, for all rights, should be just little statues.
Oh
the
yeah.
fact that they have a little give to them is just makes them that much more awesome.
Yep. My one complaint is he only has one Decepticon symbol, and that's on his right, his left paw, on the arm there. Huh?
Shoulder.
Whatever. I wish they were on both shoulders. But yeah.
That's an extra paint application you'd have to pay for.
Yeah, but whatever.
That would be 1/10th degree of awesome that they would have to leave out because you had to have the other side painted too.
So you mean they wouldn't have put his original rockets on his legs?
His rockets would be 1/100th of the size. I should say 1/100th less of the size they are now. I should say.
I just don't know.
1/100th would be like little nubs.
No, I know that, but what I was going to say was, I just don't know how he can sit down and have his rockets on. Like, I don't ever remember Ravage in the cartoons sitting. I don't ever remember him seeing him sit down. I remember him standing up in the cage when Hound captured him, but
yeah, never so much sitting.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a screenshot somewhere of him sitting.
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
he's so cute.
Yeah, he is by far the cutest of all of the robot heroes. I mean, if you had an electronic cute meter, it would break around this guy.
A line of figures that was meant to be cute to begin with, and he's the cutest one.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe if I had Soundwave, I've seen pictures. I think I have pictures somewhere that I've gotten offline that you can have Soundwave petting his head, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't have Soundwave either. But...
Oh, slacker.
Well, there's like 4 that I don't have, and I'm gonna look around at BotCon. Someone's got to be like, sure.
Yes. Speaking of BotCon, going off on a little bit of a tangent here. Mr. Wilson has graciously offered to be the Geekcast Radio Network's BotCon correspondent. He's going to be getting us all kinds of crap that he can get his hands on.
Well, I mean, as far as there's going to be people there who are fans of the show, and if I can get recordings, say, hey, you want to talk to want to be on the air or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I will be there with my iPhone with the voice recorder. So, fair game. I'm trying to think if I can get away with bringing the iPhone up with me while I do autographs, and say, whoever's autographing, say, hey, can
that
you
would
say
be
something
awesome.
real quick? Can you hold this iPhone in front of you and say, this is so and so, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network, or if I can get away with it, I'm gonna try.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Well,
for all I know,
it's funny. After we did our Stan Bush interviews last year, TFW got an audio bit from Stan Bush saying, "Hey, this is Stan Bush, and you're listening to WTF at TFW." So if they can get away with it, I'm sure you could.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Nobody knows me from Adam, so.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But I think that, depending on who it is, I mean, who it is. If you go up and there's Scott McNeil, he's going to tell you his life story and give you a voice recording. If you go up and it's, Peter Cullen, it's going to be like, all right, move the line along,
Yeah.
Great guy, but, they make it very explicit. Peter's signing 2 things. You have them ready. He will sign them. You move along. We got a really long line here. No dawdling.
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, I think I mentioned before, one year I went and Scott McNeil had his own line.
Yeah, you told me that story.
Yeah, because, I mean, he people know when you're in line with him, it's going to be a long line because he likes to talk. Great guy. Still hasn't friended me on Facebook. Kind of bitter about that.
I'll tell you more about that off the air. I tried to get around it, but anyway. So, again, I'm pretty much done talking about these two guys. Ravage, just awesome. Pure win.
Pure win.
Yep.
And cute. He's a cuteness win.
Yes, very much so. So, like to thank everybody for joining us for episode 50. Before we close this out, actually.
No takebacks.
No, there is takebacks, because you have a few special features that we were going to have in this episode. The first one is the infamous blog post that I love. Your theft of Transformers toys, or your sneaking around to find them.
It was purely innocent, is what it was. So.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. There was boxes out on the floor that were not open, and you said, the old 9-year-old, and you said, "Oh, I have to open these." Yeah, no, that's not innocent.
And the sad thing is, I'm finding the same thing now. Is I keep going back to Target, and there's nothing on the shelves, and I think it's only going to get worse until they finally do inventory.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it again. If I can find, if I find unattended boxes, then I'm going to tear into them. I'm going to bring a box cutter with me next time.
Oh my god.
I will have all of them open before anybody catches me.
Oh.
What? You do the same.
Oh god. No, I wouldn't.
Defy you. Honestly, I keep going back, and there's toys that I'm looking for specifically that I can't find. I want the Scout Class Scattershot. He's the only Scout Class up to date that I haven't bought yet, aside from the ones that they showed at Toy Fair. That won't be out for a few more months.
Right. Yeah.
The Nest ones that I want to say I know that they've been out. Like the Thrust repaint.
Right.
Really would like to have that because it's Thrust, right? But I'm looking all over for it. Can't find it. Nobody's restocking. It's just it's aggravating me. So, when they finally do their inventory and they get more boxes in, I just hope they restock very quickly.
Yeah, I was at Walmart the other day, and I was looking around, and the new packaging is out here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entire wall, outside of the other movie stuff that is just shelf warming now.
Yeah.
The other part of the Transformers thing, the entire wall is all the new the new Hunt for the Decepticons packaging, the yellow packaging.
I haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah.
So, maybe they'll be restocking soon. I don't know.
Yes, maybe. Oh, and before we close this out, I do have to bring up one other thing. Everybody knows I have been I have been claiming that the package I got for Christmas, my first set of Robot Heroes, the RC and the Frenzy, I don't care what the damn package says. I found the package the other day, and I'm like, okay, let me look at this. Let me look. Don't! The package says Decepticon Rumble. Fuck. I could have sworn that when I saw it at Kmart, it said Frenzy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the internet does not lie.
You don't care. Shut up.
My level of give a damn is definitely low on this one.
Well, it's not like it's really anything major. Fine, whatever. But I could have sworn it said Frenzy, and I'm going to have to go back to that Kmart and see, because I believe every time, like after I got this, every time that I had gone into Kmart, it said Frenzy. But
I thought that was a Big Lots.
When I originally got the first one for Christmas,
yeah,
I was at Kmart.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I got mine at Big Lots.
Right. And then all the other ones that I've gotten, like Ironhide, Waspinator, Rhinox, all the other ones outside of Hound and Blitzwing and Optimus and Ravage, I've gotten at Big Lots. Those four, or those two sets, Optimus and Ravage and Hound and Blitzwing, I actually bought off eBay.
Oh, okay.
I think I bought them off eBay. I don't remember. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I was looking for my missing...
Aren't you too old to collect those toys? Yes, we are.
Yes. yes, we are. Thank you, Phineas.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, boy. I wish they'd hurry up and make new episodes of that show already.
Didn't they just have new ones?
Yeah, they haven't had new ones in the past 2 weeks.
Oh. I just saw an episode not too long ago that had a lot of the dad in it, and he just talked a lot, and I'm thinking, holy shit, that's Ritz O'Brien. It's like, say it, Ritz, say it's astounding. He's not going to say it, but it's like, God damn it, how cool would that be? It's astounding.
Okay.
Time is fleeting.
So the first special feature, as I said, you're going to hear the infamous blog post. And then, of his own free accord, Michael called in about 10 times one day.
From the future.
Got the future dates all wrong 4 times.
It took a few tries, but I mean,
and then because he called me from his work, and apparently his work number is blocked. I normally don't answer unknown numbers, but it kept calling me. I'm like, hello, what the fuck are you doing answering the phone? Hello, duh.
Well, it was one of those things where I had some free time. I couldn't do it from my own phone. I said, I'm just going to call from here. It was you'd have to listen to it.
Yeah.
I tried to incorporate sound effects, and I couldn't do that from the iPhone because it was being finicky. So I said, I'm just going to call from my regular office phone. I sequestered myself in the office for a few minutes and was able to make the recording, and then found out that I did it wrong.
Yeah.
I made the recording again, and then, oh, shit, I messed that one up too, so then I made the recording again. And the nice part is when you listen to it, I was actually not ill at that time, so...
Yes.
There's a distinct difference between the way I sound now and the way I sound on the recordings.
Yes.
One would hope.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to hear that, and then I will be doing the outro, and thank you for listening to episode 50 of ToyCast. Don't forget NightMax. I will be sending you an email requesting your address so Tekno can send you your Recon Ravage. Mm-hmm. And another little programming note. I was going to do this in the outro, but I figure I'll do it now.
It never ends.
Shut up. The next 5 episodes of the show were pre-recorded, so they will be very dated by the time that they get released. So just want to let it. Just no, that they will be very dated by the time they get released. I just want to tell everybody, just bear in mind with us, we want to create a backlog because we hadn't really gotten to the point of setting episode 50 up yet. So I went ahead and we recorded episodes 51 through 55. So just bear with us, but at least it's 5 more episodes of the show than you would have probably gotten.
Well, you're going to release them once a week, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
so at least once a week. So
the idea here is it makes less work for us.
Well,
because it's already done. We're free for 5 weeks.
Not really, but anyway.
Oh, we got other stuff to do. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the beauty of the backlog, though.
We have beastly and zombified Steve stuff to do.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Has he gotten out of that hole in the backyard yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't bury him that deep.
It was a shallow grave.
Yeah, exactly. He should have crawled his way out of it by now.
Oh, damn.
When you hear him in the backyard, brains, you'll know it's time to do another show.
So here are the special features from Mr. Wilson, and then I will be back with the outro. See you later, folks.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Hello, this is Michael Wilson, co-host for the GCRN Beast Unleashed podcast. TFG1Mike had made a special request for the 50th episode of the ToyCast show. He wanted me to read my blog post from the January 22nd, 2009, because it's his favorite post from my website, michaelandchristy.com. So without further ado, here it goes. I hit the jackpot at Target. I do a lot of Transformers shopping at Target, and there's one right around the corner from my house, so it's easier to get to than the nearest Walmart, and they usually keep a good stock of figures. Transformers sold very well over Christmas, but I was surprised to see that my Target wouldn't restock afterwards. 2 weeks later, surprise gave way to aggravation. And 3 weeks later, aggravation gave way to righteous fury. Put some new stock on your damn shelves already, people. I guess they were holding out for some annual inventory check, which just happened last weekend. At last, I found stacks and stacks of Transformer cases of all sizes at Target. It had been weeks since there was anything on the shelves, and my obsessive-compulsive side took over. I ripped off the tape on the nearest box, and I peeked inside. New animated toys. I tried another one. New robot heroes. Yeah. Before I could stop myself, I had opened 4 cases. And then I got caught. A clerk rounded the bend and sternly told me that I was not allowed to open the boxes. Well, I explained happily that I already had, and look what I found. I asked if I could keep them, and she said that as long as I had already taken them out of the box, then I might as well take them. Big smile. Like she was going to take them away from me or something. But I was already sure that there were more cases in the back, still waiting to be looted by me. I would be patient for now. So I came back later on in the evening and found that all of the deluxe figures were restocked. I couldn't decide which one to get, so I got all of them. I picked up Hound with Ravage, and Cyclonus, Smokescreen, who's the Prowl repaint, and Universe Cheetor, Universe Dinobot, the Starscream, that's the Classics repaint, Animated Blur, Animated Swindle, and Blazing Lockdown. I was so happy that Target finally replenished the supply that I forgave them for making me wait over a month for my fix. And that's it. For the record, I didn't steal any toys, and I didn't sneak into the back room at Target. It only sounds that way on the umpteenth retelling of the story on ToyCast or some other GCRN podcasts. Well, hope you liked it, and be sure to keep up with me and all of my blog posts on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Greetings. This is Michael Wilson coming to you from the future. In honor of Geekcast Radio Network ToyCast's 50th episode, I decided to call in from the year 2034, the 50th anniversary of the Transformers franchise. Why go through all the trouble of trans-temporal communications? Because I have to tell you, Takara Hasbro Sony has pulled out all the stops for their 50th anniversary robot companion Optimus Prime. He's a human-sized replica of the original Optimus Prime, like a big old Masterpiece Prime in your living room. He's 5 feet tall, and he can transform by himself, and he talks in Peter Cullen's voice. Here, listen.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
How cool is that? They have Peter on ice, so they can record his lines for Transformers forever. To preface, Sony started marketing their consumer robot line, the Robot Companions, back in 2019. They're old hat by now, used as butlers, dog walkers, and housekeepers. But then the very vocal Transformers Party started demanding a Transformer version. After the Transformers Party took the Senate in 2032, Sony finally acquiesced, partnering with Takara Hasbro, and built one that actually transforms. I have little need for a 3-foot-tall semi-truck in my house, with wheels no less. How quaint. But Prime still functions as a consumer-grade household appliance in robot mode. So I've got him answering my holomail now, and cooking me pancakes in the morning, and battling spam bots out in the front yard. They come to your house now, you know. But the best part, and we've been waiting 25 years for this, is no more buying Prime repaints. The Nano Paint in Robot Companion Prime can actually change colors when you touch the matrix in his chest. Here, I'll just pop open the chest panels. And there's the matrix. You can't see it, but it shines with its own inner glow, and it's big enough for an adult to hold up, Rodimus style, to light your darkest hour. There. Now he's white and pale blue for Ultra Magnus. And now he's black and teal for Scourge. And now he's green and yellow for Chupacabra Buster. That's when Prime defeated the Chupacabras. Well, that hasn't happened yet for you, but just know that things get a little bumpy for the human race around 2015. I've already said too much. I'm risking quantum paradoxical synergies by just calling back like this. Just know that this is the Transformers figure to wait for. Try to stay alive long enough to own one of these. Remember, 2015 is a rough patch. He was almost too expensive to afford on my retirement account, but he's well worth it. With any luck, the designer for the 50th anniversary Prime will hear this and make it their life's work to build it. Or else, this future might not exist. So, this is Michael Wilson signing off from the future.
Well, that's the epic episode 50, 2 hours and so of nothing but toy talk. Hope everyone really enjoyed it. We enjoyed really putting this one together. Again, congratulations to you, NightMax, for winning the Recon Ravage. And as I said at the end of the Pecan Court Michael segment, the next 5 episodes of ToyCast have already been recorded, so the topics in them may be a little bit dated. So please forgive that. You can follow the Radio Free Cybertron crew by going to tfradio.net. Follow Brian Kilby on Twitter. It's at bkilby. XVs is at xvbraun. Enders is at tformersender. I think Rob Springer's is at Rob Springer. And I'm not sure if John DeLuna has a Twitter or not. Pecan Court Michaels is at Pecan Court Michael. Steve Megatrons is at Steve Megatron. And General Technos is at General Techno. You can visit our website, geekcastradio.com. You can join our forums, PrediconEmpire.com/Nexus. Leave the show feedback in iTunes. Please do this. You can follow the show on Twitter. It's TF ToyCast. Mine is TFG1Mike. Become a fan on Facebook. Search Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToyCast and wish you'll join us next time. Be sure to visit our sponsors, BigBadToyStore.com, for all your Transformers and other toy-related needs. I'm TFG1Mike, and until next time, transform and roll out.
Hey, this is Sari, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network of podcasts.
Supernatural. Recon Brave Star.
Maybe it was a Manglore.
It's Castle Grayskull.